In this tip, I want to show you how to create a grid or an array of rectangles. Now, this tip I use quite often if I want to set a grid of points, or if I'm working with the site mass hall and business center and I want to create a grid of hall zones, like in this particular case I have here. And the way you're going to do this is it's kind of a little bit thinking outside the box, and I'm going to use a feature of the drafting capability, which is actually used for plotting, which is the dynaview collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dynaview collection, and let's just call it hall zones. And the width on paper is I want a hall zone or a grid of a 300 foot by 300 foot. So ignore the fact that this does say inches for a minute, and you're going to change the plot scale to 1. So 300 inches, plot scale 1, and you can set the rows and columns that you want, and your overlap you'll want to set to 0, and then you can put it on a layer. I think I created one here called hall zones, so we'll put on hall zones, and then you're going to pick your first sheet origin. So you can see that I have this grid or an array of rectangles or squares. So I'm going to pick this as my insertion point, and I'm going to rotate this guy around for the rotation angle that I'm looking for to create my hall zones. So there you go. Now if I close this and I measure, alright, so if I measure from this point to this point here, you'll see that it's 300 feet on my plan view. If I want to go and I want to change this, it's pretty simple. If, let's say, I want to make it a 200 grid, just simply select one of the boxes or one of the grids and select Edit Dynaview Boundary Collection. I'm going to come over here, and let's say we want to change it to 250 by 250. Apply that, and it changes my grid size. So pretty simple way to create a rectangle or a grid of rectangles that I can use for boundaries, hall zones. I can use the create points option here and create points on these corners, so I have a grid of points. A lot of different things that this dynaview collection tool can be used for. I hope you find this helpful. If you need more information, contact your local site tech dealer.